everybody? My name is Professor Ed. I'm here to teach you on the importance of recycling and the pollution and how plastic pollutes our earth. By show of hands, does anybody know what percentage of plastics is recycled? Nobody? Does anybody know how plastic is made? Okay, now to start off, let me give you some examples of what type of plastics I'm talking about. This water bottle is an example of a plastic. This plastic bag is an example of plastics that we use every day. This bottle right here is another example of plastic we use every day. So back to my question, does anybody know how plastic is made? So basically, in the early 1900s, there was a big oil boom in the United States, and how people were extracting not producing, but how people were extracting oil. It will be an oil that will come up, and then it will be another silicone substance left over after you take out all the oil. And they didn't really know what to do with it because there was so much of it, because there was so much oil being produced, and this was the side effect of making oil, and they didn't know what to do with it. So some genius scientist came up with the solution of just messing around. He seen that the silicone can make plastic bottles, and they were basically giving away the little silicones to make the plastic for free because nobody wanted them because they serve no purpose, no use. So they created plastic bottles, plastic caps, especially because it was so cost effective and it was so cheap to manufacture and to make. So roughly about 9% of plastic globally is recycled. 79% is either in landfills or a recycling plant. Pollution plant. That percentage goes down to 5-6% in the United States, roughly. A lot of plastic is not recycled is due to a lot of the legislative laws regarding to the plastic acts and rights. The U.S. lacks a national plastic packaging policy. That gap is a direct result of failure to pass federal legislation to fix the issue. A lot of people think that recycling plastic works really well. If you look at the statistics and the science behind it, it's not as effective as it can possibly be. A 2023 analyst by the governmental group Beyond Plastic in the last beach cleanup, drawing on the EPA data, found that the actual United States plastic recycling rate has fallen to somewhere between 5 to 6%, down from 8.7% just a few years earlier. The Recycling Partnership Act of 2024 State of Recycling reports back this, finding that roughly 80% of recyclable plastic packaging that can be recycled curbside never even makes it to the bin, largely because of access infrastructure wildly varying depending on the state and city that you live in. Another reason why the gap exists is because Congress has actually tried to fix it since 2020. Lawmakers have introduced the Break Free Plastic Pollution Act 4 separate times in 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023. And again, the current Congress, according to the bill records on congress.gov, each version will require plastic producers, non-taxpayers, or local governments to fund collection and recycling systems. A model called Extended Producer Responsibility. Every single version that they have tried to make or pass has without failed. Federal action, states have been left to fend for themselves. Only 7 states, including Maine, Oregon, and Colorado, and California, have passed their own producer responsibility laws, creating a patchwork where your recycling obligation depends entirely on your zip code. But I feel like everybody can make a change, especially when it comes to plastic, because we don't want it polluting our country. We don't want it polluting our world. Everybody can take change and make action and take change to try and help these laws to better affect how plastic is used and produced. The next time you're standing over a recycling bin, wondering if any of it actually gets recycled, remember the uncertainty, and it might not. And what I'd like to ask for everybody here is to reach out to your local governor or your local to your city and try and ask them about the recycling laws and what they can do. Try and support all the causes like the beach cleanups, the Save the City acts, all that to try and help reduce some of the recycling, some of the trash, and some of the recycling plastics to